Hello everyone. So I'm coming in today because I really want to speak to the experiment that is life and my own reflection of the last 2 years and the experiment that I have been living and dove into headfirst, leapt into in a really big way. And this all started in 2020. It's a big year, right? For all of us. And those global events of 2020 that moved into 2021, that despite what we may think and feel, is still lingering in the ethers of 2022, that allowed me to really enter into more of an awareness of my life as an experiment, because it became such a grander scale of looking at how I was living, what choices I was making, who I was being, and where maybe I was in or out of integrity with those things. So, back in 2020, when everything was unraveling, unfolding, for those of you that aren't aware, I was in Australia. I was an anaesthetic specialist working in the public healthcare system, and I had visited Italy the year before in the summertime, and in so many ways fell in love and felt this emotionality of myself that I had really been suppressing in my work getting tapped into. So there was a little bit of a trigger in that experience in Italy that guided me into 2020 that I am deeply grateful for. Now, why I'm calling this an experiment is this is my background. I am trained as a scientist, as a medical doctor. It's how my intellect has been honed and shaped for 15 plus years of my academic life. And there's value in that, and I can't pretend that it's something that I'm not. But that is too unilateral a viewpoint to live your life by. And I took some massive decisions. I left my job, which was really leaving a career. It was massive. It was something that I knew would be final. And I did that before anything else was ready for me. I left my job because I could see the train that was coming down the tracks. I had been in healthcare, in the medical world, in a first world country for long enough to know what was coming for us, to know how things were going to unfold. And then I could choose whether I wanted to participate in that or not, and in what way I was willing to participate in that or not. Knowing and believing at my very core that health and wellness is our birthright. It is innate within us, and any deviation from that state is foreign. It is dis-ease. It is not of us. So, I leapt out of Australia. I didn't like being caged. I didn't like being told what to do. And I've honestly never really liked conforming. It is who I am. And I felt that I had outgrown a system, and if I continued to remain in that system, I wasn't being true to myself, I wasn't being true to my potential, and I just didn't belong there anymore. I needed to learn what I had learnt. And that seems odd. No one enters medical school as an experiment to see if they fit, to learn that world, only to step out of it. But I was one of them that did, and I have no regrets as I've watched everything unfold as it unfolded in my country of Australia and in my new home here in Italy and Europe. I have zero regrets about my decisions. And as things continued to unfold into 2021, there was always moments of needing to check in with my decisions that I'd made and having new opportunities being offered to me about making new choices or what I wanted to participate in or not participate in. And I had gifted myself the freedom to decide at so many levels and in so many different ways, because I had already taken a grand decision of unplugging from a system that was dictating how I needed to be, the choices I needed to make for my body. And so that opens up a lot of new choices that may not be available. And that can be really scary when we are so conditioned to conforming, to staying in certainty and safety in systems that we have in place, in the society that we have created. The choices are limited, but that can feel easier, that can feel more safe for us. But that is not where I want to live. We are arguably, we are the most highly evolved species on this planet. Do you really think that we're here to be told what to do by others? I really hope not. And as I'm learning and opening to more and more accepting that we are vastly different from each other, every single one of us has profound individuality that cannot be boxed. The boxes will just be boxed on boxed on box. There's too many boxes. There's one box for you. And it's so important that you tune in to all that you can receive in order to fully stand in your own authority, your own autonomy, your own sovereignty in your body. No matter what other choices are being made around you, no matter what feels like it is being forced on you. So 2 years later, we can look back with those, 20/20 vision glasses, that hindsight, that clear vision. And there were parts of this that were immensely difficult because of the choices that I made. There are still parts that are really challenging and difficult. There's things that I had to say goodbye to. There are people I had to say goodbye to in so many ways. But in order to make those decisions, I was choosing myself. And that's the choice we absolutely all must make. It's not selfish. It is required if you are to live your life to the fullest capacity, for your true purpose, for your true integrity, to be fully lit up, to not be controlled and contained. It doesn't need to be that way. But it can feel really, really scary to move into those spaces of having the independence, of having the autonomy, of having the expansiveness of life open to you and going, what the hell do I do with all of this? Because you were on train tracks before, you were in a box before, you were confined before. And that can feel much safer because it's what we grow used to, because it begins from the beginning when we are told how to behave, who to be, what is good, what is bad, what is success, what is failure. You must decide at every point in your life, at every junction, for you. Because if you don't do that, the results are resentment, frustration, bitterness, anger. And we see this in our society. We have seen it in the last 2 years when people have gone against what they know better because it wasn't what someone else told them. So they question it. And that's not correct. It's not correct for you. That may be correct for somebody else, but that may not be correct for you. And you should feel confident and trust that wisdom that comes through for you because it's your unique voice. Imagine living a life where even though that voice can sound a little crazy, magic happens, incredible opportunities and experiences and people can appear in your life when you tune into your authority in you. Not this, because this has also been machined. It's been conditioned. It's got all of those rules in place. So it's not the filter that you want to use, but it's damn scary to start using something else. And what is the something else? Depends. I'm so passionate about human design now because it is an incredible science that gives you the mechanics of making decisions outside of the logical mind that has been heavily conditioned. It allows you to hear your true voice and begin the experiment in that, playing in it, maybe making those mistakes, fine-tuning, refining. And I can sit here today, despite how many things may have not turned out, how I may have thought, and all the rest of it. But looking back over the events of the last 2 years and what our species has been through, what our planet has been through, this global event, it's a great time to reflect. Looking back now, remind yourself who you were in those times, the choices that you made, the motivations for the choices that you made. How do you feel about them now looking back? Were they yours? Did you feel forced? Did something in you say, this is not for me? Did something in you want you to just escape? Look into those hints and clues and start taking decisions in the smaller things, the less obvious experiments in your life that you can actually hang your hat on as being yours. It's so immensely powerful, and it's what we're here to do and be. We are meant to be playing on this material plane of life. We are here to play and learn, just like we were when we were kids. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. If anything, we should play more fiercely, more bravely, because we're smarter now. We can bail ourselves out. There's always a unique path for you that you just need to open into one step at a time. And so from that, I want to pull that together with health, your health. And don't be told what to do as far as your health, what is right for you. Because what might be right for someone else may not be a good fit for you. Or it may have been a good fit at one time and it's not anymore. We have so many different opportunities out there in the health and wellness space. And that's why I now say they all work and they all don't work. Because they need to be tailored to you in this moment. Who you are in this moment. It is absolutely crucial. And you have to be open to the experiment and to change and adapt. And not do something because someone is telling you to do it or it worked for them. Tune into that authority, that inner voice that you have. Only you can know. Only you can enter into this experiment with yourself. And health is so much more than the physical body. That's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. Having been in a system and trained in a system where the body was the primary focus. In fact, disease and illness and pathology of the body was the primary focus. We didn't learn about health in medical school. Really. We spent very little time learning about health, and we only learn about it through the physical body and a little bit of psych, tiny bit, again, of pathology. not of wellness, not of mindset. There is so much more that I've learned outside of medical school that has taught me so much more about what true health looks, feels, and is. And it's completely unique. And if there is any aspect of your outward health, your physical health, that is not optimal, go deeper. There is absolutely something deeper. And you may not find the solution in a physical aspect. It could be something that is deeply out of alignment with how you are being in the world. Your body is the last frontier of breakdown when you are not living your truth, when you are not serving yourself as the absolutely divine, incredible being that you are, beyond the physical organism, deeper than that. And that's really how I work now and what I'm passionate about now. I've mastered that physical plane of health and wellness. I've been through all of it in one way or another. Through being a medical doctor, through understanding the mechanics of physiology, pharmacology, how we can manipulate all of those things, and then delving more into bodywork modalities, physical things. And now I'm more and more open to our emotional body and how that communicates with our physical body. This incredible mechanism here of how we think, believe, and behave in our world, how that speaks to our physical body, and then the outcome of our health from that space. There are so many threads and pieces to this that there is no simple solution, but the solution is simple. You know your own answers. That's all you need. The rest is a playground. You get to play with all these different things available to us now. Try them all. But the simple solution to your optimal health on all levels is your truth, your unique truth. And that's where the work is. It sounds really simple, but it is really challenging work because the physical stuff is easy. It's accessible. But to deeply know yourself, to deeply unravel those patterns, the wounding internally that has happened, that's then expressing externally, it's big and it's highly individualized. And that's why now I've opened more and more into doing individualized programs with women one-on-one, because that is where we can really go there. We can look uniquely at you, and then I have all of the tools, and we can play around with try this, do this. But if we're not dealing with the deep underlying fabric, the architecture, the foundation of how you are designed to be in this world, then you will be playing around in that physical plane for a really long time and not actually getting to the point of it. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. It's fun. But if you want the true transformation that turns that physical plane into a playground that you can tap into and try whatever you want, but deeply you know what is your truth and you know what it looks, feels like to be embodied in your optimal health, this is the new frontier. This is what I'm passionate about now. This is the work. And so that's really what I wanted to speak to today, through a very thinly veiled debrief of the events of the last couple of years. I don't know if I can really say anything more than that, because I might get my account cancelled, because we're still living in these times where we are highly censored. And that's a shame. But be brave, be bold, be open, and grab your life by the reins with both hands and claim it. It is yours. It is not for somebody else to dictate to confine, to define. Claim your own definition, your own place, your own authority and autonomy in the world. This is where true fulfillment lies. If you are searching for fulfillment in all the physical things, I've been there. It doesn't live there. It is so short term and it's exhausting. And it's an experiment that I am not interested in anymore. Been there, done that. So I hope that this landed in some way. It's something that I've wanted to bring forth, that I've wanted to speak about. And I've not known the perfect way to do it, and that's okay, because perfection is overrated. Anyway, it certainly is in my life. That's for sure. It's not who I am. Imperfection is living. When everything's perfect, there's nothing left to do. It's all over. So that's where I'll leave it. I hope this has resonated on some level with you and it wasn't too cryptic, because sometimes I can be a little cryptic and a little mysterious in the way I will share my beliefs, my ideas as they come through, because it's always evolving, it's always shifting and changing. But I love it. It's my experiment. And it's so beautiful to be able to share it in this way. So get in touch with me if something here resonated. I am moving into the business of healthy women. I am so passionate about making sure that every single woman on this planet is living and breathing and embodying her absolute optimum health at every layer of her being. Health doesn't even encompass anything anymore. It is such an overused term. But I am passionate about reinvention and revolution. And I'm creating it in my one-on-one spaces and in more group programs likely to come next year. So stay tuned. DM me if you want to chat. I offer free discovery calls so we can really feel into you and where you're at, and if I'm even the right person to facilitate and guide you on your journey, on your next pieces of your puzzle. Have a beautiful day and listen to yourself. Trust yourself. You know, you already know. Okay. Ciao.